Hey guys, this is John here in Los Angeles with the Alpha Channel update for Sunday, October 7th, 2024. We're going to start with the Yggdrasil deck. Heavy duty, nice Norse, very white divination. I don't really use it for that. I just like that it's got all the Norse pantheon characters and they each get a card and a couple pages in the book inside. This is Durin the Gatekeeper. He's in charge of navigation. Durin the Gatekeeper. It's by Halder Halderson, this deck of cards. They're pretty good. I like them. It's a cool thing to check out. And today we have Liam Gray's DINOKING Part 2. I believe the first one is Lizard Brain, and this is Behemoth. We are going to recap what happened yesterday because it's important. I want to show the very beginning. Yeah, Behemoth. So today's is Behemoth. This is the cover. And I'd mentioned yesterday I found this piece of work today that I had done a something similar to this shot right down here at the bottom. And I found it. It is grayscale. I will insert it here. So yeah, this is Liam's. And let's continue. I love the way Liam draws these two little kids. I don't remember their name. I love the way he draws their mom. This is all very anime. He's really got the Japanime sort of face style down. But the dinosaurs show up. The dinosaurs show up and murder the mom, who's been taking care of this kid, Kaiji, who has like 3 names. They call him Big Brother. And yeah. The dinosaurs murder her. Sorry, I was thinking about a Takashi Miike movie where the main character is called Big Brother, and I'm spacing on the name in Japanese. I should know it because it was Manji-san in Blade of the Immortal. So this guy fights back against his lizard family, and he does a sort of reptile transmorph thing. But right before we get to chapter 2, they're explaining to him that he's remembering his dinosaur self. One of them blasts him across the face, and they say that they've injured his brain so much he won't recover. But he does recover. He stands right back up. And then they take the 2 little kids, the human children. They're going to take them to what they call the incubation pit, which is where I'm sure they're going to turn them into whatever this guy is. He's like a lure. And so this is the beginning of chapter 2. They've carried the 2 little kids off, and he is now chasing them. And you can see his feet change. He's becoming more lizard-like. He becomes like a raptor with arms. But they see him. Now, I have to beat Liam up a little bit about the second half of this book. Artistically, it's not as finished as the first half. And you're going to notice it right away. I give him a little bit of leeway, and also in the story, this story is not, there's so much chaos in the art, and so much quick action, so much gory, bloody, quick action. The same thing happens to this story. Story and plot details get lost in these quick engagements. These quick sort of lizard dinosaur bloody engagements where this character gets his arms ripped off, but he continues to fight and then he grows them back. The rules are not clearly defined in this world. Sorry, got the hiccups, I think. And so the art is also not as clearly defined as it maybe should be. The dinosaurs talk, they have psi powers. This guy, you can see here, he's becoming more lizard-like. I don't know if you guys watched Claymore. Claymore is a really good anime. Claymore has some crossover with this. In Claymore, when the characters get really angry, they become what's called, what do they call it? Realized or something like that. And they basically turn into monsters. And this has a little bit of that going on. I'm sure it comes out of Dragon Ball, which I never watched more than like, I I never watched from commercial to commercial, even that much. But so this character is becoming more and more lizard-like, except he has arms, he has a back scale. His advantages seem to be will and sheer determination. You can see that the other lizards call in like all their brothers and sisters, basically every dinosaur in existence. I'm not sure who the audience is for this book. Probably just Liam and Ethan. It's definitely not me. I don't have the background necessary. Like I said, I watched Claymore and I understand that, but I don't have the background in whatever books Liam has read to make this work for me. It's not bad, but the combination of rambling sort of catch-as-you-can story along with unfinished, unrealized art. This is a very sketchy style, and you can say it's because of the speed at which things are happening, but you're going to see some panels up here where you probably don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. It's a little unfinished. I think he could not have brought in a colorist because the colorist would have demanded more crisp pencils. At least as a colorist, that's probably what I would have done. A colorist probably would have been expensive too. And besides, these pages are so thick. I'm not of the belief that everything has to be in color. But if it's not going to be in color, it has to be really crisp inks. And this relies a little bit too much on wash, on grayscale wash and unfinished backgrounds. This is not Savage Sword of Conan. But he did exactly what the story demands. So the reason it's unfinished is because the story, this is the level of finish that this story deserves. So when it comes to that, I would go a step further and say the pages are too high quality for this book. He should have used 40-pound pages and it would have been just fine. It would have fit more with the quality that we're seeing here. Basically what's happening the entire second half is this character Kaiji or Kull or Telamon. He has like 4 different names. He is chasing after these 2 little kids whose mother has been murdered because she took him into their home. And he is determined to rescue them. He's determined to rescue them because it's the only thing we as the audience would tolerate. There's not a lot of alternative motivations. This is not a braided storyline. This is not Lock, Stock, and 2 Smoking Barrels. This story does not have a lot of moving parts. It's essentially got 3 characters plus some antagonists. 4 characters if you count the victim of the mom. And we do get something pretty cool here at the end. They're traveling. They're on the run from these monsters. They're not quite sure, at least I'm not quite sure where they're going. But he's taking them somewhere, and he takes them and he finds his father's body. This page is more finished than any of the 15 pages that came before it. This page is out of place because it is so finished compared to the pages that came before it. But this is literally the cliffhanger. They just climbed up a cliff, and they have now found Kaiji's father. Which, unless he can like get some new superpowers or do some sort of Superman, what's it called? The Fortress of Solitude, it's not going to really change much. I'm interested to see what he's going to do with book 2, but I don't know how much of a hurry I'm going to be in to buy it. I'm certainly not going to pay $500 for it the way I've seen DINOKING #1 listed on eBay. I like this book. It's not a $500 comic. So, not even for the first issue. It's good, but it's not that good. I really like how the kids are drawn, but I think the second half could have stood from more eyes and industry feedback before publication. That's the trouble with independent works. It's really hard to get feedback from your peers, and before you finished it, it's a lot easier to publish it and get feedback from your peers. I published my stories. These are out here as 23 hours, approximately 23 hours of quality audiobooks for you guys, 13 hours each, 26 hours, probably 27. So yeah, Legacy of a Mad Scientist, The Legend of Ashley Fox. Put my work up against anything on the market. Nobody compares to what I've done with this. I have not read anything. That's, yeah, very high on my own supply, but I earned it. I spent a long time working for it. This is good. It's not as good as the stories. This has some issues, but I'm very proud of it. Ashley Fox, Last Valkyrie. It is a PDF comic book for free for you guys to check out. And I don't know what comic we're going to do tomorrow. I have seen some drama online. Where do I want to start? It sort of feels like the other shoe has dropped with Hurricane Helene. And it felt like before that, we were waiting for that. North Carolina is the state that suffered the most. And now there's another one coming in on Florida. There's a lot of talk about weather manipulation. The powers that be are in a lot of trouble. Not since the French Revolution have they faced this level of trouble. Not since Weimar Germany have they faced this level of trouble. And they earned it. They earned it. So karma's gonna be really ruthless coming up here in the next few weeks. And my well-being is very much up in the air that's going to be sorted out over the next few days. All you can do is keep pushing on, do your best, try to keep your head above water, be nice to people, be compassionate, be considerate. Everyone is struggling. Everyone is struggling right now. So, that's really all I can say. I got to spend today flatting. Jay, the guy who drew this, has a whole bunch of angel characters in armor that have never been colored. He has a method of coloring the shapes, and I never learned how to do it. It's a Bezier tool, which I know really well from inking and Illustrator, both sides of a line. I went and inked like 6 or 8 pages of a comic that way, and it was not rewarding. It was very time consuming, very tedious, and it did not end up looking good in the end. So I'm still looking for a smooth digital inking method. I feel like I've got penciling down. I do not have pencil lighting down. I have pencil positioning and gesture drawing down. I do not have lighting and shading down. And I do not have digital shading down. I'm really good with story. Story is where my talents lie. But because of the culture war we find ourselves in, I have not found a medium to publish my work and make it reach the masses, except for YouTube, and inviting you guys to check out, my audiobooks here on YouTube. So I'm very proud of the work I've done. And I don't know what comic we're going to look at tomorrow. Maybe Inglorious Rex. I think it's the first one. It might be Inglorious Rex 2. I've got Fiendish 2.5. I don't know. Something. All right, see you guys tomorrow.